WR has arrived on the channel. What is up, guys? Simba here, and welcome to WOR content on the channel. And I'm very excited to be showing you a second league alongside SLR on the channel. And here is the calendar for the upcoming season. We've got 15 rounds from Austria to Saudi Arabia with a few sprint races as well. So it is going to be a very exciting season. And we are going to be in tier 6, the lowest out of all the drivers with no assist. And we're going to be in the Mercedes as well. So I picked the Mercedes, and I think it'd be a good way to show the difference between the two leagues. So I like the Mercedes. It's actually quite good. As we're ending our first run here in the short qualifying session, we're going to cross the line here, way up on the Delta as we set a first outlap. And we go into P1. And going P1 was quite a surprise at the time because it was only a 5.2. And eventually we get dropped down to P2, and here we are on our second run of the session, and this turned out to be my best lap of the entire session. So I'm going to stop talking and let you guys enjoy a lap around the Red Bull Ring.
Okay, just 2 laps of fuel remaining now.
Yes. See, in the 4s, baby. Let's go. We are trying to go faster, but unfortunately we turned in too early at turn 9, and we just messed up the last corner. It's a 4.801, but are we still on pole? Damn it. I don't know if that's pole or not. If it is, are we? Look at the moon. Is it? Oh, let's go! Yes! Come on! And you can hear my reaction to the surprise. We have scored our first pole position of the season, and our first pole position on F1 22. And I actually posted this lap on Twitter, which was insane, by the way. 3,000 views, which is absolutely insane. So go follow me over there if you haven't already. But what a lap, and what a way to start a new season. And that is a huge confidence booster anywhere you go. So here's the strategy for the race. We're going to go from the mediums to the hards, and there's no formation lap, so we're going to go straight into the race. So here we are on pole position for the first time on this game, my second ever league racing pole position. Can we convert it into victory to start the WR season? 5 red lights are out, and the season is underway, and we get a very good start from pole position, and we stay ahead of Nico Sebi towards turn 1, and we don't mess up. We get a little bit loose on the rear, but the main thing is we are still in the lead, and it's a good start from us. Normally our starts are hit or miss, but this time we've absolutely nailed it as we go into turn 3. This is a very chaotic corner at the start of the race because the midfield, everyone's bunched up at this stage of the race. Obviously it's the first lap, and we stay ahead, and we've got a 4/10 gap, so Nico is going to be keeping us honest here. But the main thing is we just stay calm, really. We just have to stay calm, just run at our own pace and see what happens. We've got all the clean air. It's Nico Sebi with all the dirty air behind us, so all we need to do is just maintain the gap. And as you can see, we've used no ERS on this opening lap, so ERS management is going to be key. But at the end of the first lap, we come round towards the final corner here, and we have led the first lap of the season, And that is a very good start to the race. We've got a 7/10 gap as well. So, that is a very good start to this race. And that will give us a bit more confidence than we had on the first lap. As you can see, coming towards the end of lap 2 now, we're going to come through and set the fastest lap of the race. And the gap is over a second to Nico behind us. And that is crucial because he will not get DRS. And we'll have to skip a few laps because we just kept on getting more confident as the laps went on. We skipped to lap 7, 5 laps later. We've got a 1.7 second lead to Nico here. We are loving life out in front. But unfortunately, a safety car has come out on lap 7.
For God's sake. Alright, chap. I've got a decision to make. So we just go for hards? Or stay out? Because I think it's a little bit too early for hards.
So you can hear I am chatting to the the chat members on Twitch right now, discussing strategy.
Shall we stay out? Stay out, alright. If we don't pit, though, we're a pit stop behind. I'm going to take the chance. We can't go in now. We haven't crossed the line properly. There you go. People are staying out. One is in. So Coda's going to be important towards the end of this race, chap. I think he's going to be on hards as well. I don't think he'll get to the end of the race. It'll be hard for him to get to the end. That's for sure. Alright, safety car coming in, chap. We can go whenever we want to. This stupid limiter is going to be the death of me, I swear to God.
So after that intermission, we're going to get going again. We skip another 3 laps to show that the safety car is coming in at the end of lap 10. And you can hear my reaction to the limiter being quite a pain like it was in Saudi Arabia last time. But that won't stop us from getting going and restarting the race. And here we go, through the last corner. It's a good exit. We used some of the ERS that we were saving before during the safety car, and we are racing again. And we've got, again, a 4/10 gap to Nico, and we are looking to build the confidence here. But, yeah, he's still sticking with us, but we are looking to try and pull away from the rest of the field again.
There's fighting behind us. We can take advantage and run away now. There you go. DRS broken already.
So at the end of lap 11, the first official racing lap after the restart, we've managed to pull out a 1.1 second lead. But now, we got to lap 14, GRT Rambo has managed to overtake Nico for P2. And now, he's in our DRS range.
Right, he's in our
which
DRS
means we're going to have to be a little bit more careful with our ERS management and our tyre management, because we are entering the pit stop phase in a few laps time. But literally a few corners later, we get a second safety car. And now we have been forced onto the hard tyre, because if we don't pit now, we'll end up being a pit stop behind the rest of the field, and we'll have absolutely no track position towards the end of the race. So here we go, we're going to pit for the hard tyre. It's a no-brainer. And we have to make sure we don't cross over the white line going into the pits here in WOR. You'll get a penalty for it, as we nearly speeded the pit lane on the entry.
That was close.
That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting.
That was quite close. Thankfully we didn't speed. We're in race over.
So you can hear me counting my lucky stars as we didn't speed in the pit lane. And we cut to lap 17 as a safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. And we do not have track position. We're down to P6. And I think Coda passed us, as you saw us in the pit lane. But here we go. We're going to see if we can get past some of the cars. I know there's contact between the AlphaTauri and the Red Bull.
Right,
and we had to take caution to that. And now GRT Rambo is going to pounce on us. Going into turn 1, we managed to stay ahead. But Rambo is going to be all over the back of us here as TR10 has left the session. And Rambo is going to be side by side with us. We don't really have the straight line speed. We've already used over a quarter of the battery trying to defend. As we go into turn 3, we're trying to hang on the outside. But he gets ahead of us.
Yeah, not ideal. We'll stick behind him for now.
So you can hear me say there, it's not an ideal situation. Preferably we want to be ahead of him. As you can see, we're trying to fight back at him, but he keeps the position, and we're just going to stay behind him. It's not the best situation to be in, you know, we'd preferably be ahead of him. But for now, we're going to sit behind and see if we can repass him as we get a decent run out of turn 7 there. I mean, out of turn 8. But we have to stick behind in P5. But we've lost the place. As we got to the next lap, we get our first warning for track limits. And you can hear me in the background say, first warning. And that was quite frustrating because we're actually doing pretty well with track limits. And we skipped to lap 20. Rambo's got past Chip. And we go through turn 9 again. And we get another warning.
Oh, God damn it. 2 warnings in the space of a lap. What am I doing? Come on, focus.
So you can clearly hear I'm quite annoyed at myself for getting that second warning. Because it's 2 warnings in the space of 2 laps. Which is pretty bad. And now we're on a tightrope for the rest of the race. On a track where it's really easy to get warnings. As we go through turn 3, we tap the back of Hello Chip. And we've had to do it the dirty way to overtake the Aston Martin. And that allows Alex Daegu on the medium tyres to just stroll his way through. And he's ahead of us as well. So 2 guys who were fighting in this race are now ahead of us.
Yeah, not ideal.
As you can hear me once again say, not ideal, as we've lost track position to another car that will be important towards the end of the race. And there seems to be fighting ahead of us, and that is Rambo getting past the Haas of PE Apex, who's got a 3-second time penalty. So he's put a car in between myself and Daegu, and we're going to see if we can pass him. We need to clear the Haas as we get a decent run out of the last corner, but it's absolutely meaningless, as it's not an overtaking opportunity on this track. As we skip to lap 22, Alex Daegu is still looking to pass Apex, and Rambo is starting to run away, but we have a bit of another problem here.
Yeah, we don't have the traction out of turn 3. Now Daegu's through.
So you can hear me say, there is no sort of traction out of turn 3, which is a massive problem, because that is mainly an overtaking zone, and if you're side by side with the car, and you don't have any traction coming out of the corner, you don't have the confidence to get out of the corner, you're not going to get anywhere. And we have to pass Apex, but he spins in front of us, and that has promoted us up into P4, but we don't have track position anymore. And we're going to see if we can sort it out on lap 23. As we come through turn 1, Daegu makes a massive error at turn 1, and that's the window of opportunity that we needed. It's been opened by Daegu's mistake, and we reclaim a podium position in its Austrian Grand Prix. So now we can try and chase after Rambo, who is still behind Coda, who, remember, he pitted under the first safety car of this race, and he finds himself in a leading position for the win. But Daegu comes right back at us. We don't have any sort of straight line speed, and Daegu reclaims the place. And that was pretty annoying. And now we have a virtual safety car by the end of the lap. It is pretty much chaos behind us in this Austrian Grand Prix. We've not been involved in any sort of collisions, which is always good, but it's delaying the pace of the race quite a bit, and delaying any plans we have to get back past the McLaren, who, by the way, the reason why he's on mediums is because he started on the hard tyre, and he's making it work for himself, to be fair. He's found himself in a good position to win the Grand Prix, so let's see if he can make it happen. And also, GRT Rambo has overtaken Coda, so we need to clear him now. So that is going to be another problem for us as we go into turn 3. Daegu is still ahead of us, but again, look at the traction out of the corner.
My god, the rear tyres just won't work with me for turn 3. It's so annoying.
And you can hear me getting a little bit more frustrated with this problem. I have no idea what it is. Maybe it might be tyre pressures or something, but we are losing like a lot of time through turn 3. And it's really costing us because we need to get past some of these guys as Daegu has a look at Coda through turn 3. And you can see again the traction isn't there. And to make matters worse, we are watching Alex Daegu on the mediums passing MCD Coda around the outside in a brilliant move. You can see that the outside line on this track, if you're racing around here in any lobbies or any leagues, if you do league racing on this game, the outside line is better at turns 3 and 4, and now it's our turn to try and pass Coda, so we don't lose touch with Daegu and Rambo. And yeah, it's a bit frustrating because remember, we were leading this race quite comfortably by a good 1.5 seconds, and there you go, Coda goes wide and we almost hit the back of him there. But now the window of opportunity has been opened once again. We're using up the battery. We don't have the straight line speed, so we're using all the battery, as much battery as we can, to pass the Haas. And there you go, we're up in the 3rd place, but we almost go into the back of the McLaren. And again, we don't get a great run out of turn 3, so we have to use the ERS to stay ahead. We get ahead, but now RPR Rooster has come out of nowhere, and he's going to send it up the inside into turn 4, and he squeezes out a little bit, and we have basically gained nothing out of it. And you can hear me say, that's a little bit annoying, and it was getting pretty frustrating at this point because now Rooster has just shown up out of nowhere and is inserting himself into this fight for the win. As we cut to lap 32, I don't know what's going on with my phone, but some bits are going to be frozen. And this is a huge part of the race because Rooster and Rambo have made contact at turn 4, and my phone decided to not show you that. So I'm going to try and fix that for the next video, but here we go. We're going to try and overtake Rooster going into turn 5. We just don't have the grip compared to him, and we have to stay in 3rd place. And we are running out of time to try and get this win. We almost allow Alex Daegu to get away, but again, we're going to skip a few laps towards the end of the race. And here we go. We're building towards the last lap. We don't have much battery, and we don't have much time left to reclaim the lead. Alex Daegu has been on those mediums since lap 14, but he's made them work. So theoretically, we should have the better race tyre, but it's not going to be easy, and these two have been very quick.
Right, let's go. Last lap.
And you can hear me say last lap as Rambo has a look at Daegu going into turn 1. That compromises his cornering speed, and we're right behind the Williams going into turn 3. We don't have much ERS to work with. The management hasn't been too great behind the Williams driver, as he has another look going into turn 3. And again, he compromises his own line. We're really close to the back of him. But again, the traction on the rear end has cost us here.
It's rear end! Oh my days!
And you can hear me getting really frustrated as Rambo has a look on the outside of Daegu going into turn 4. Daegu stays ahead, and there's no collision at turn 4 on this occasion. Rooster again has another look going into turn 5, but it's absolutely no use. And the cost of traction, the lack of traction, has cost us a chance to even get P2, let alone the win. As we're coming through the last 2 corners, we're still on 2 warnings. We don't want to get a penalty, so at this rate, we're just going to try and bring this home, trying to get the best traction possible. As Rambo goes off the track to get a good run on Daegu. It doesn't matter because Daegu wins the race in Austria. Rooster will be second, and we are P3. Well, it might not have been the win, but it is still a podium to start the season. But I couldn't help but feel that we could have and should have won this race, and the second safety car did us no favours whatsoever because it just incited chaos, and we didn't have any sort of track position to work with throughout that second stint. And the first win of the season will go to McLaren's Alex Daegu. And I can tell you now that Rooster was given a penalty. I'm not too sure where he got demoted to, but we got promoted to second place in this race. But it doesn't take away the frustration of that last stint of the race. And there you go, confirmation. P3 for today, but we're up to P2. But it was still pretty annoying. But it is what it is. That's racing. Sometimes things just don't go your way, even though you've proven to be the quickest car out there. But yeah, it is what it is. Still a good way to start the season. Another podium for us after getting a podium in Saudi Arabia in SLR. So it's still good. It's another momentum boost, and we're going to try and carry that towards Australia. And I want to give a shout out to this man here, responsible for the thumbnail for this video, and that is Oscar Painter. You might know him as LS Carbon back in my old videos. He was responsible for making this thumbnail. Cheers very much, mate. Subscribe to him, go follow him, and I'll see you guys in the next video.